Friday night lights here at Arnold Field in Sonoma. The Stompers look to stop this mini CCL skit. 1-2 on the California Collegiate League summer, 4-4 overall if you count the non-league contests. And welcome inside the Sonoma Index Tribune press box for this edition of the Sonoma Stompers pregame show. I'm Kieran Costa, joined alongside Roman Raffelli as the Stompers get set for the first of three between the San Francisco Seagulls. Well, these teams played 8 times last year. They split them 4 wins and 4 losses, but one thing of note, 3 times the Seagulls came in to Arnold Field and won last year. What do you have to do to protect the Arnold tonight at home in front of what should be a Good Friday crowd?
Yeah, you always talk about defending the home turf. Really, all you need to do here is play your ball. You've lost 2 straight. You got to get back on that winning, and that starts with playing the ball that they want to play. They want to take good at-bats, play small ball, give what the other team is going to take them, whether it's a walk, a hit by pitch, an error, it doesn't matter, and they've got to capitalize. They haven't really been able to get guys into scoring position, but when they have recently, they haven't been able to score them more often than not. They got to play team ball, play together, and just be confident. Yeah,
playing together is a huge thing at the summer ball level because a big thing is like everybody here is playing for their stats. They want to pick up every RBI. What the coaching staff's really trying to preach into their guys is pass the bat on to the next hitter. Get the guy in the dugout up with runners in scoring position, and the Stompers struggled to get the big hit yesterday in what was really an odd baseball game. Zach Pace ejected in the first inning, and the Merchants scored 3 runs in that frame off what was a majority walks. They got just 1 hit, a sac fly. They played small ball, and the Stompers could really never chase them down. They have to really shut down in the early innings.
Yeah, and the pitching's been solid for Sonoma. The issue is when the pitching's been bad, the bats have been great, but then when the bats have not been there, the pitching's been really good. So it's just kind of this not having everything going all at once, and that's part of what Zach Pace has talked to us about leading up to this point. Is the beginning of the season, you're trying to push the boulder, get it rolling, and then it feels like when things get rolling for the Stompers recently, they've stopped, or they've hit a wall and not been able to push through that. So they got to start to do that and kind of battle the adversity and get a good win tonight.
The Stompers bullpen has been amazing. Yesterday included 4 different pitchers combined for 8 innings with giving up just 1 run. It was unearned at that point in the ball game. But let's talk about today's starter, David Howard, his second appearance on the year. He went 3 no-hit innings last time out. You'd assume he gets a little bit more length, a little bit more leeway from Zach Pace today. What did you see out of Howard back against Alameda last week?
Yeah, the hard-throwing lefty, he was great in that outing. He had good control. He threw strikes. That's been the big thing, is getting ahead in counts is just so crucial, especially when you don't know what calls you are or aren't going to get from umpires or, the errors in the field, whatever it may be. You got to throw strikes, be assertive in the zone, and pitch confidently, because ultimately that's what your job is as a pitcher. You got to go throw strikes, get ground balls, and you dictate how the game goes. So if you're not confident or you're shying away from contact, you're asking to get hurt. But David Howard was great in his first start, and he needs to continue that, come into this one with even more confidence, and just be him.
Yeah, it's the first of 3 between these 2 teams. A lot more series are set up on the CCL slate this year. Arnold Field tonight, at San Bruno Park tomorrow, and back here Sunday 1:05 for the 3rd game of the series. And it's just about that time. The managers are here, so let's take a look at Roman's radar for today. We'll start with a look behind enemy lines at the visiting San Francisco Seagulls. 0-1 on the season. They got walked off by the Merchants. Who on their roster can we take a look at, Roman?
Yeah, for me it's going to be Jalen Hodges. He's a solid hitter, been really good in the spring and struggled to start this year. Just went 0 for 3 with a walk in game 1, but a really good guy at shortstop, both in the field and with the bat in his hands. He's a dangerous bat and someone David Howard's going to have to be careful with.
Yeah, Hodges in the 2-hole today. He got 56 hits at Cal State East Bay last season, but only 2 of them went for extra bases. So a singles machine, but he can also run when he gets aboard. And now let's move over to our side of the ball. Stomp Watch. It's a lot of similar guys in the lineup, some good arms. Who do you have your eye on today?
Yeah, for me, it's going to be Esteban Sepulveda. He came into last night's game and had a walk and then reached on an error, came around to score. He was productive there, and we're seeing him up in the lineup a little bit, hitting in the 4-hole, a good opportunity, and I think the coach is just seeing something with him that they want to rely on tonight, so we're going to see if he can take advantage of that and have a big game.
Yeah, well, that's all the time we have on this edition of the Sonoma Stompers pregame show. We're getting closer and closer to baseball. The Stompers look to get back to 500 on the CCL season. You don't really want to start skidding this early in the year. Eyes start to turn when you lose 3 straight in league play, especially to a team like the Seagulls, one that you played so many scrappy games with last year. And the CCL season is long. It's over the next 3 months, but there's going to be times down the stretch when you're 1 game out or 1 game up. You're going to look at these games early in the season, especially the one like last night, and you just want to start hot and try and build yourself a little bit of buffer if injuries or something come down the road.
Right, you're going to get into the dog days of the summer and wish you had gotten 1 or 2 more early when everyone was fresh and healthy and confident. And, I mean, to be honest, just happier to be here. You get into those longer stretches where you play, 13, 14, 15 games in a matter of, 17 or 18 days. And it becomes tough, but you got to get the ones early, give yourself a little bit of a cushion, but then also just get confident team ball rolling and move into the later half with a lead in the games, but then just a confident, set of players that you can throw out there and expect good things from.
Yeah, well, the Stomps look to get rolling coming up in just a few moments. The anthem, the lineups, and then first pitch when we come back on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Well, the anthem's been played, and that means it's time for baseball here at Arnold Field on a Friday evening. I'm Kieran Costa, joined by Roman Raffelli as the Stompers look to get back to 2-2 in CCL play. And what's always a contentious series against the Seagulls, getting the first one would be nice for Sonoma. And they turn to David Howard, a lefty out of Newark, California, to try and get that done. The 6'4", 240-pounder played at Sonoma State last year, 11 appearances, 3 starts, a 7.53 earned run average. But he was nails versus the Alameda Ink Tweak. 3 no-hit innings, 1 walk, 1 hit by pitch, 1 strikeout. And this is the lineup he'll face as announced by Ryan Davis, who's both coaching first base and the manager for the San Francisco Seagulls 0-1. The second baseman, Alan Ramirez, leads off, followed by the shortstop, Jalen Hodges, then the third baseman, Jake Brewer, and the first baseman, Nav Sundar. So the whole infield is the top 4. Then you go to the catcher, Ethan Johnson, the center fielder, Mac Galvin, the left fielder, Derek Waldvogel, then the right fielder, Ben Resnick, and the DH, Finn Whalen rounds out the 9 for the Seagulls. And will set the defense behind David Howard. The Stompers wearing their home white uniforms. Stompers are scripted across the front in navy, and of course the orange numbers on the front and the navy numbers on the back. The outfield looks similar to what we've seen all year. Sebastiani in left, Akers in center, Kieran Baker gets the nod in right field for Zach Pace today. Brady Shannon, though, still in the lineup after a tough start to his Sonoma summer. He plays first base. Gideon Hahn and Colton Boardman up the middle. McCann Libby's at third base. And Esteban Sepulveda, the battery mate for the lefty out of Newark. Alan Ramirez, Jalen Hodges, and Jake Brewer will be the 3 to bat against Howard in the first. The first of 3 between Sonoma and San Francisco. A home, away, and home series over this nice early June weekend. Left on right. Ramirez waits. Howard delivers. The first pitch of the ball game is a called strike number 1 at 6:12 here in Sonoma. The temperature 73 degrees. The 0-1 is outside. Tried to stay off the corner again. Says John Pierce, the home plate umpire tonight. The 1-1, Howard delivers high, and the count's 2-0. That one missed up. Zach Pace is the Stompers manager. His hitting coaches Paul Madarena, Kenny Meimersdorf, and Dave Hoke help him out. The pitch is outside, 3-1. Howard was very efficient in his first start. He faced just 10 hitters over 3 innings. Walked 1 and hit 1. He's in jeopardy of walking the first hitter of today's ball game, but he won't. That one's sent towards center. Akers drifts in and makes the one-handed catch on a lazy fly ball from Alan Ramirez, and that's the first out of the ball game. And that brings up Jalen Hodges, who was Roman's player that we had to take a look when we took a look behind the enemy lines in the pregame show. Hodges went 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored against Alameda. The righty takes low for ball 1 off speed at 71. Hodges played at Cal State East Bay, where he hit .339 with 56 hits. But again, only 2 of those hits went for extra bases, so not exactly the guy that's going to find the gap, but the guy that's going to get on consistently on base over 400 clip. He's ahead 2-0. Howard delivers, swing and a miss. That's a nice pitch. This is what we saw from the curveball's really slow, 69 miles an hour, just died at the bottom of the zone. 2-1, Howard working quickly, pitches a fastball off the corner at 84, 3-1. Jake Brewer, the second-year Seagull, waits on deck. The pitch is outside and high for ball 4.
That's not a good start for David Howard. You don't want to be getting the pitch count up early especially, but you don't need to walk in the top of the first. Starting the game off that way is just not going to lead to success. Needs to get back in and get a ground ball here.
The first one is in there for a called strike to Brewer, who in 37 games at Kenyatta College had 4 home runs and hit over 300. Played on the Seagull squad last year as well. Hodges not running, and a fastball is a called strike outside corner, 0-2.
And Howard's starting to recognize that the outside corner is going to be given just a little bit off the plate there, so he's going to want to live right there. It's a good pitch to get guys to roll over if they're trying to pull it or just to get called strikes.
The 0-2 is sent towards center. Akers comes on and makes what turns into a little bit of a leaping catch. That ball just kept on sailing. That's the second out that Akers has recorded, and that brings up Pranav Sundar, another second-year Seagull, whose numbers have sort of just stayed the same. He had 232 in 7 games for the Seagulls last summer. He had 242 in 39 games for Coppin State. Howard looking to work around the walk, and he picks back. Sort of gave away the move there, and Hodges just took a calm step back to the base. Left on righty, 4 straight righties to open up. A lefty in Johnson on deck. But Howard hoped that's inning number 2's problem, as that's a called strike by John Pierce, who's helped out by Dean Poteet and Kevin Addington today. The 0-1 coming. Outside, went a little too far off the corner with that one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hodges leads from first. Howard, the lefty, checks the runner and comes home with it. Sundar grounds it up the middle for a base hit. Hodges will stop at second base. Gideon Hahn went into a headlong dive to try and keep it on the infield. But it's squirted past him into center field. That's the first hit of the ball game. First and second with nobody out for the Missouri commit, Ethan Johnson.
And a nice seeing eye single there. It looked like it might have hit the field on just behind the mound. That is Kevin Addington, but tough to tell from where we're at.
Stompers gave up 3 in the first last night. David Howard looking to toss up a 0 this time. That one's bounced to first. Fair foul ball, says Dean Poteet, the first base umpire. And the manager, Ryan Davis, is not too happy with that decision. He's going to talk to Dean. That was right down the line. Again, we don't have a straight on vantage point. Maybe that's the home plate umpire's call. And again, when you call it foul, you can't overturn it and call it fair. But that might have been a break for Sonoma. That ball was going to the corner, and everyone was running with 2 outs. Either way, it's an 0-1 to the left-handed hitting Johnson. The catcher today, a wide open stance from the left side. Howard comes home, and that one kicks past Sepulveda to the screen. Both runners advance on a pass ball ruled against the catcher. And now, that same ground ball from Johnson, if he can keep it fair inside the line, will result in 2 runs. I mean, if you're Brady Shane at first base, you probably want to glove that ball either way. Even if it's foul, it's no harm done. The 1-1 is grounded towards second. Hahn charges and cannot make the play. It looks like, well, Dean Poteet says he can. And the inning is over. Hahn charged, bobbled it, picked it up, threw to first, and got Ethan Johnson. It goes 4-3. And to Ryan Davis, the manager's credit, he's stayed very calm when two controversial calls have gone against him in inning number 1. So a 0 after all that from David Howard. We go to the bottom of inning number 1. It's scoreless on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. We head to the bottom of inning number 1 here in Sonoma, and it was an interesting first. A couple calls seemingly go the way of Sonoma, and the offense will try and take advantage against Ben Eisenhower, who stands 5'11", 175 pounds, the senior out of San Jose, California. Pitched 2 games, 4 innings, 3 strikeouts, and a 15.75 ERA at Cal State East Bay. The lefty pitches, and Akers takes high, 1 ball and no strikes. Landon's been aboard all 8 games that the Stompers have played so far this season. And that one's high as well from Eisenhower. 2 balls and no strikes. Akers, Hahn, Sebastiani in the first. Sepulveda, Boardman, and Libby is the middle third. Shannon, Taylor, and Baker round out the 9 for Zach Pace, who watches a called strike go past his leadoff man, and congrats, Skip's already made it longer than he did last night. Ejected in the top of inning number 1 in yesterday's contest against Alameda. He hopes to see all 9 today from the dugout. Akers pulls that one down the left field line. It's going to be a foul ball, says Kevin Addington down the third baseline. Akers almost watched a double kick into the corner. Instead, it's a long and loud strike number 2. Akers of Bellarmine University Knights, 4 for 13 with a couple RBIs in league play. 2 singles and 3 strikeouts yesterday. Two coming from Eisenhower. And Akers pops it up first base, and it's going to drift out of play. The count holds at 2-2.
And to go back to the top of the first, that's a big inning for the Stompers to be able to battle through some adversity, get, some trouble on the pads, but then work out of it. That's big for David Howard and this team, because that's what they're going to have to do all through tonight, and especially through CCL play.
2-2. Akers bounces it to shortstop. The throw to first is in time to get him by a step. A nice, strong throw from Hodges across the diamond. There's 1 down.
Sonoma Stompers from Modesto Junior College, second baseman number 1, Gideon Hahn.
That brings up Gideon Hahn, who struggled his first league game against Slow. He went 0 for 3 with the sacrifice bunt. He's 1 for 4 in league play. Got a pinch hit walk yesterday. Here he takes a nice pitch that bends back to the heart. He thought it was going to hit him. He turned his shoulder. He takes outside. It counts 1-1. Hahn out of Los Medanos Junior College got himself some awards playing there last year. He had over 400 as the everyday shortstop there. The 2-1 ahead in the count against Eisenhower. He takes low 3-1. And the first lefty on lefty matchup, it's the hitter who has the count leverage at 3 balls and 1 strike. And Coach Mayo, the hitting coach, has gone and said something to Nick Sebastiani in the on-deck circle. We'll see what adjustments made there. The 3-1 is grounded to the left side. The shortstop, Hodges, has another chance, and he throws out Hahn. Grounded that one all the way on the outfield grass. Brewer, the third baseman, went into a dive, but it was the shortstop who made the play. A couple ground balls to the left side to open up the contest, and that brings up Nick Sebastiani, who's struggling a little bit in CCL action. 2 for 11. Good time to break out and get the Stompers an early lead. He takes low and out. It's 1-0.
And to go back to the out of Hahn, Hodges on the outfield grass couldn't take a step to get there with the speed of Hahn. He needed to get that ball out as soon as it got to him, and to his credit, he threw off the back foot very accurately and got it there in time.
1-0. In there for a called strike. 1-1. One coming to Sebastiani. The righty takes low and outside again. 2-1. Esteban Sepulveda moved up to the cleanup spot. Waits on deck. Just getting started. Last of the first scoreless on the Stompers Broadcast Network. The pitch. Swing and a miss. That's a nice breaking ball. 2-2. Had Sebastiani fooled badly. Two coming. Eisenhower rocks and delivers low and inside. Filler up. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sebastiani last year on the Stompers made the CCL All-North team after a guy that we didn't think would get a lot of run. Here he takes inside ball 4. He was a high school guy back then. He just wrapped up his time in high school. He was the youngest player on the team. He broke out. He had over 300 for Sonoma, a couple of home runs. Then didn't get any run at Santa Rosa Junior College. Redshirted there, but spent a lot of time getting stronger, working on his craft, and he's aboard with 2 outs in the first. And that brings up Esteban Sepulveda, who came off the bench yesterday, walked, reached on an error, and scored. He has 1 CCL hit up until this point. Sundar holding the runner on at first. Eisenhower comes home outside. 1-1. Goals and the Stomps, bottom of inning number 1. Both teams looking to get back to 500 in league play. That's a nice pitch from the lefty. Slides back to the outside edge.
And when you've got a lefty who's throwing a 71-mile-an-hour slider like that, you want him to throw it as much as he can. That's a great pitch, and we've seen him locate it very well here in the bottom of the first.
The 1-1. Swing and a miss. That's the same. It starts in the same place that the slider did off the corner. That one was a fastball. It stayed straight, didn't bend back, and Sepulveda swung right through it. The count's 1-2. 1-2 coming to the backstop from Pepperdine. Eisenhower sets at the belt, stares in to get his sign. Sebastiani runs. Sepulveda grounds at the shortstop. A third chance for Hodges, and he goes 3-4-3 in the first. 3 6-3 putouts and a walk thrown in there. Nothing across for Sonoma. We head to the second inning of play scoreless on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. We go to inning number 2. I'm Kieran Costa, joined by Roman Ruffelli here in the Sonoma Index Tribune press box on a beautiful Friday evening in Sonoma. And David Howard's first pitch of the second inning misses to Mac Galvin, who didn't play a game at Skagit College last year. He went 0 for 3 with 2 hit by pitches and 2 strikeouts. This one's in play, and it's going to test Akers, who's deep in center field, still chasing back, and makes a running catch. Bangs up against the light pole in center field, and Landon Akers has all but secured the CCL center field Gold Glove already. He's making play after play in center. Mac Galvin heads back to the dugout after hitting one 367 feet into the right center field alley. And this one's bounced back up the middle. Boardman fields on a hop, throws to first in time. 2 pitches, 2 outs to start inning number 2.
And 2 impressive plays from this defense. I mean, Landon Akers had to go a long ways to get that ball and was nearing the wall. That's definitely, hesitant territory. You don't want to just go face first into that pole. And then a really great play from Colton Boardman, a ball chopped up, got to get it out quick, made a great glove-to-hand transfer and got it across.
I'm betting on a take here from Ben Resnick, and he does. Out of Kenyon College, 29 games, 5 doubles, 14 RBIs, and a .241 batting average. And he takes outside 2-0, so no 3-pitch inning today. Howard delivers low again, and from 2 quick outs to now a 3-0 count on the 8-hitter. The 9-hitter Finn Whalen, redshirted his freshman year at Sonoma State's on deck. Howard gets a 3-0 strike down in the bottom corner of the zone. The count's 3-1. Howard, another guy that works quickly. The lefty from the windup misses for ball 4. His catcher didn't do him any favors, in and out of the glove of Sepulveda. And it's the second walk charged to Howard thus far, and that brings up Finn Whalen. Whalen from San Francisco, committed to Sonoma State, didn't play there, and now that whole athletic program's in limbo. Who knows where either of these guys are going to be playing next season. So the battle of the Seawolves begins with a called strike 1 over the inside corner. Left on right, Howard is ahead 0-2. That's a nice pitch. That's the big curveball from the first start. It sits between 69 and 73. That one at 71 right down the pipe. And let's see what he does on 0-2. Howard stares at the runner. First comes home, and it's lined over Hirian Hahn into right field. First to third goes Resnick. The throw, he didn't slide, and he's out. Ben Resnick was jogging into third base like he was there easily, and Kieran Baker throws him out from right field. A bullet of a throw right on target to Libby, and Nick Escolara, coaching third base, can't be happy about that. And if Zach Pace was the manager, we would be seeing a new right fielder in the last of the second. We'll see if Ryan Davis makes the same decision. We head to the bottom of the second, still scoreless on the Stompers Broadcast Network.
Northridge, number 3, Colton Boardman.
Boardman, Libby, and Shannon. The Stompers' defense has been on full display. They'd love to get the bats going in the bottom of the first. To wrap up that last inning, it goes as a single and then a 9-5 putout. Baker to Libby gets a nod at third base today, and Boardman takes a called ball 1. Colton's 4 for 11 in CCL play, the hottest bat in the lineup, if I may say, and that one's grounded foul wide to first base, right past Jacoby Heyer in his usual spot in the first base coaching box. Dave Hoke down at third base. And Zach Pace still in the dugout, not ejected yet today. 1-1. That one's pulled foul. That's on. Sounded like a fan on that one. I have to make a better read than that. That one was never going to drop in the field of play. 1-2 coming to Colton Boardman. Left on left against Eisenhower. The CSUN shortstop fouls it off again, and the battle continues from 1 and 2. Last of a second, Stompers looking for their first hit in a 0-0 ball game. Eisenhower, the tall lefty, delivers, and Boardman hits it weakly towards second. Ramirez gloves and throws in time, one away. All 4 outs recorded have been on the ground so far from Eisenhower.
And that's just not a great pitch to swing at. It was an off-speed pitch, so it's a little bit more tempting, but it was going away from the plate. Boardman just probably tried to battle that one off, but got a little bit too much of it. Just didn't put a great swing in. It's not the ideal ground ball to lead off the inning.
The pitch. He swings and misses, fooled badly on that one that was in the dirt. It's 0-1. McCann struggling a little bit in league play. He's 1 for 12. The one was a home run. That one is down 1-1. Beg your pardon, that home run was against the Anchors over the weekend. The pitch is grounded foul at home plate, 1-2. Eisenhower up near 30 pitches, and there's a righty lightly tossing in the bullpen. One-two. Inside, it hit him. And not my sharp. That home run was against Slow, correct, Roman?
It was against the Blues, yes.
So his lone CCL hit will still be a home run. He's on base, though. He's plunked on a 1-2, and that brings up Brady Shannon.
And that's a pitch there that you'll always take as the hitter because it hurts, yes, but you were down 1-2 and you got a free pass. That's a win every single time. And if you're the pitcher, Eisenhower here, that's what you can't give up. You're pitching well. You're keeping him off balance. You can't afford to give that one up.
Eisenhower comes home to Shannon. It's up and away. Brady, who's just joined the squad a few days, goes 0 for 5 with a hit by pitch. Still looking for his first Sonoma knock. And out to the mound comes Cage Cascones to talk it over with Eisenhower. And Libby's just going to take a little walk. Took one. Couldn't have hurt that much compared to he just flipped the bat, jogged right down to first, but making sure of a blood spumming. I wonder if they send him here. I know Sebastiani got on with 2 outs, but he sent him on a 1-2. The Stompers have been aggressive on the base paths all year. Libby from Frisco, Texas, heading to Louisiana Tech this fall after a couple years at Navarro, an NAIA school down in the Lone Star State. Normal leadoff first base. Eisenhower comes home, and it's away. The count's 2-0. Count leverage for Shannon, a guy that hits the ball very hard, or at least he did at Youngstown State. A handful of home runs for a Penguin squad that stayed in the single-digit win totals this season. That one's going to find the outside edge, but that's not a pull the trigger 2-0 count. And Coach Mayo this year said a 2-0 and a 3-0 is the same thing. Let's make them throw a lot of pitches. If it's a 2-0, it's got to be your pitch. 2-1. Outside and high, 3-1.
And it looked like that mound visit there from the pitching coach who was talking about his fundamentals. You could kind of see him shifting his body, demonstrating a little bit. He's not really finishing on his pitches. He's kind of throwing that right shoulder out towards third base when he comes around, and it's leading to some inaccuracy and less velo.
3-1 to Shannon is popped foul, and that was the one he wanted. That's the fastball is 77, and it was center cut. Shannon is just struggling to see the ball his first couple games in Sonoma.
And that's not a terribly uncommon thing. You got a new park, new field, new batter's box. You just got to get adjusted and really get into a routine of things. But, you know, your time is ticking here to get rolling.
Now the payoff comes. Now would be the time to send Libby. They don't, and Shannon fouls it back to the screen.
That's a great piece of plate defense there from Shannon. He picked up on it a little bit late. Probably wasn't sitting on that pitch, but able to battle it back, not let the ump ring him up.
So a second payoff coming between Eisenhower and Shannon, and that's ball 4 called. Eisenhower's going to take a little walk around the mound. He wasn't too pleased about that one. And that brings up Cameron Taylor, who hasn't been around much for Sonoma, and I don't think he's going to face Eisenhower, as that's now Ryan Davis who's going to come out to mound. We'll see if he takes the ball from his lefty. And the reliever is on his way out to the mound before the ball's even been taken from the starter. So time for a change here in Sonoma, just the second inning. The Stompers threatening 2 on and 1 out. We'll tell you all about the new pitcher when we come back. First and second, 1 out in a scoreless game, last of the second on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Welcome back here in the last of inning number 2. The new pitcher, Sebastian Buller, delivers and it's grounded back up the middle by Taylor. Steps on second, throws to first in time, and Sebastian Buller comes on and in one pitch ends the threat with a double play. It's a 4-3 double play. The second baseman Riera stepped on the bag himself and threw to first. So let's close the book while you're here. 1.1 innings for Eisenhower. No hits, 2 walks, a hit by pitch. And he's going to go shake hands with Sebastian Buller. It's going to be a 0 in the earned run category for Eisenhower. We head to the third inning of play here at Arnold Field, scoreless on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. We head to the third on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Still scoreless. It's the top of the lineup, Ramirez, Hodges, and Brewer. And this one's bounced to Hahn, who makes a nice play at second base to pick a weird hop. And the Seagulls are swinging at the first pitch they like just about every at-bat.
And that one kind of kicked off the lip of the grass and then fell right at Hahn's feet. But he did a good job to come through that ball, get a nice pick on right around his hip, which is not really where you want to pick a ball, but he made a nice play there.
That brings up Jalen Hodges. Roman's look behind enemy lines has been on base his only trip. That was via walk, and he takes a first pitch fastball at 82 for a called strike one. Left on right, Howard comes home and delivers. The 0-2 coming is outside 1-2. Top of inning number 3. We're still playing in a scoreless game. The 1-2 from Howard cut on and missed. And there's quickly 2 down here in the third. That's the first strikeout for Howard, the first strikeout of the season for Howard, for that matter.
And a great sequence, a great pitch, just did everything right in that at-bat, and he's going to need to continue that. Got a chance for a quick 1-2-3 inning, something he hasn't had so far tonight.
Brewer stepped out for a couple practice swings. Howard was ready and waiting, and that one is fouled down the first baseline, up on top of the Stomper bullpen. The count's 0-1. Howard working quickly and working very efficiently up until this point. There's been traffic every inning, looking to put him down 1-2-3 as he misses away with that one. The count's 1-1. Jake Brewer, 2 for 6 so far this CCL season. That includes a flyout in the first. He's ahead of Howard 2-1. Sundar on deck. Left on left. Howard pitches high 3-1. And there's been a walk in the first, a walk in the second. He'd like to avoid the base on balls here in the third. Still from the wind, he delivers in there for a called strike, 3-2. Brewer looked a little frozen on that one. He wanted to go. He had the 3-0 green light, but watched a fastball find the outer corner. 3-2 with 2 outs from Howard. That one's popped up very shallow left. Libby goes out and makes the catch with 1 foot on each side of the foul line. A couple steps out into shallow left. We head to the bottom of the third, cruising along here in Sonoma, scoreless on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network.
Right fielder number 12, Kieran
9-1-2. Kieran Baker, Landon Akers, and Gideon Hahn. The Stompers would love to grab a lead. David Howard's been good. 3 consecutive zeros to start it. And Sebastian Buller, who threw just one pitch and induced a 4-3 double play to get out of Ben Eisenhower's jam in the second inning, is set to deliver his first pitch of the third inning, and it's swung on and missed for called strike, or for strike one, beg your pardon. The 0-1, Baker late and fouls it back to the screen. The count's 0-2 all of a sudden.
And Kieran Baker has shown some flashes for the Stompers throughout the season, not so much in CCL play, but in the non-conference to start the year. He's been good in the field and had some good at-bats, just needs to be more consistent.
He takes outside 8. Made a very nice throw back in the second inning to gun down Ben Resnick trying to take third base.
And that play is an effort play because you don't have to make that throw. He probably has third base, but he made it anyways and got the out.
Here he takes low, and he's battled back to 2-2. That one kicks to Landon Akers in the on-deck circle. Two balls and 2 strikes. Right on right, Buller and Baker. And that's going to be a ball. It would have been a balk to be a ball anyway. He really didn't like his landing. It looked like his foot got stuck on the mound or something, and they just lobbed it in there. Either way, Baker has gone from 0-2 to 3-2, and the Stompers look to get the leadoff man aboard for the first time tonight. And that one's lined towards left. Moving over is Waldvogel, and he falls down and makes the play. I don't even really think it was a dive. A sinking line drive off the bat of Baker ends up in the glove of Waldvogel out and left.
Yeah, and that wasn't really a dive from Waldvogel. The ball died on him pretty quick. He was kind of treading backwards and then just kind of had to fall forward and land into that one. That's a great play and an unfortunate piece for Kieran Baker. He put a great barrel on that ball just pretty much right at the left fielder.
Akers takes a slider that falls middle, and it's 0-1. 78 miles an hour from Buller. Akers fooled. That time it was the fastball, and he's behind 0-2, just like Baker was. Kieran would battle back to 3-2 before lining out to left. The 0-2 from Buller to Akers struck him out swinging. First strikeout for Buller and the first strikeout for Seagull pitching. He's been susceptible to the strikeout in the early going this season for Sonoma. He's an on-base machine. He's reached in all 8, league and non-league alike.
And Akers just looks a little bit over-eager at the plate. He's very capable. We all know that. He knows that, but seems to be like trying a little bit too hard, kind of forcing good ABs when they're not necessarily there.
Hahn takes low inside, and for the first time this inning, a Stomper will start ahead in the count. 1 ball and no strikes. Hahn grounded out to shortstop his first time through. Takes called strike 1-1. 88 in the zone from Buller. Hahn checks his swing. It's called a ball, and it's 2-1. Hahn ahead of the count against Buller. Righty on lefty. Sebastian pitches, and that one is over but low at 89. John Pierce's strike zone much smaller than what we saw from Kevin Bernius yesterday. The 3-1. Hahn takes a called strike. and the count runs full 3-2. The second full count of the inning for Sonoma. They can take that away, even if they can't come away with any runs. Payoff coming. Buller sets and pitches, and that one hit Gideon Hahn. He's on with what goes as a hit by pitch, and that brings up Nick Sebastiani for his second trip.
Yeah, I'm going back to the 3-1 there. That's not a call that Gideon Hahn really disagrees with, but sometimes as a batter, you make it up in your mind. If it's going to be close on this next pitch, I'm just going to walk, try to sell it there. And credit to him, that's a nice scrappy play, but that pitch was more than in the zone, but he finds a way on either way.
A lot of Stompers are getting hit on 3-ball counts, it seems, the last couple days. On a short lead off first, Buller pitches. Sebastiani takes high 1-0. Sonoma nothing, San Francisco nothing. We play in the bottom of the third. Righty on righty. Sebastiani walked in the first, and here he takes inside. The count's 2-0. That's a front hip slider that just didn't make it all the way back to the inside corner.
And didn't make it all the way back, but we've seen both Seagull pitchers now just have really good stuff. That's a great slider. He just started it too far in.
Sebastiani takes a fastball on 2-0, and the count's 2-1. Sepulveda waits on deck. Two balls and one strike to the local product, Nick Sebastiani. Even stance from the right side. Hahn leads off first, and Buller's delivery is high and outside, 3-1. And you look back, I think Kieran Baker had a great at-bat to lead off this inning. He went from down 0-2, battled back to 3-2. You got a better look at Buller because he only threw one pitch in the second. Sebastiani swings and misses another full count, the third in 4 hitters this inning. But I think the next ones through have definitely seen it a little better. Hahn will be running on the payoff pitch with 2 outs. Sebastiani takes low ball 4. And a little 2-out rally brewing for Sonoma. They're still yet to have a hit, but they've had 5 base runners through 2 innings. And that brings up Esteban Sepulveda, who was one of 3 different players who grounded out to shortstop in the first inning against Eisenhower. Ball to the outfield would all but guarantee a run. Hahn off second, Sebastiani off first. Buller sets at the belt. Johnson sets up away, and that one caught a little too much plate with the fastball. Sepulveda fouls it back to the screen and steps out. He knew that was the pitch to do damage on, and maybe Ethan Johnson knew as well he's going to go talk to his pitcher.
Yeah, definitely got away with one there. That fastball ended up pretty much middle. That's, the perfect pitch to hit. You don't want to throw it there. You kind of want to think of the strike zone as a bit of a donut. If you're the pitcher, you don't want them just right down the middle. It's a very bearable pitch, but lucky there.
Sepulveda lines it back to the screen, 0-2. That was pretty much the identical pitch, 86 outer third. Lots of hitting room on the right side of the infield and the outfield. The center fielder, Galvin, 3-4 steps to the pull side, and the second baseman, Ramirez, is playing nearly up the middle, and now Sundar plays in front of the runner at first base, and that one's low, 1-2. The Stomper 0-2 approach has been good.
And a ball right over Ramirez's head here, maybe even a foot or 2 to the right would result in, for sure, extra bases for Sepulveda. A lot of green on that right side.
1-2 from Sebastian Buller. Sepulveda lines it foul the opposite way. Buller, West Valley College, wrapped up his sophomore year. He had 11 games out of the bullpen, a 3.44 ERA in 18 1/3 innings, but the number that jumps out at you is 16 walks to just 9 strikeouts. He has a walk and a hit by pitch in this frame. That's Hahn at second and Sebastiani at first. Another 1-2 on the way to Esteban Sepulveda, and that one's low, 2-2. 28 pitches now. And he's gone 4 outs, but he got the first 2 outs on just 1 pitch. 2-2 coming, and that one misses inside. John Pierce's zone very small and not giving anything on the inner third especially.
Yeah, and that's a great miss and a really dangerous take for the pitcher and the batter here, but not a bad call.
Runners going on the 3-2. Sepulveda pops it up. First base. Sundar ranging over, still ranging over, and he makes a basket catch with a bobble. The side is retired. The Stompers see 29 pitches, but leave 2 and don't pick up a hit. Roman Raffelli will take over on play-by-play when we come back for the 4th inning. Scoreless on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network.
Back here on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Drew up in the inning. It's 4-5-6 to face David Howard. Sundar Johnson and Galvin. Sundar with the second hit for the visiting Seagulls tonight. He singled and was left on second base in the first inning. Now I had 2-0 in the count. Howard issued a couple of free passes so far in this one, but has worked out of it. No runs for either team. And the 2-0 misses high and out. Now 3-0 to the leadoff. The 3-0 delivery on the outside edge for strike number 1. Looked like Sundar was taking the whole way there now. 3-1, gonna look for his pitch. Left-handed delivery. Low and out. That's ball 4 to start the inning. It's the third walk issued by Howard. That'll bring up the San Fran backstop, Ethan Johnson, the Missouri commit for this fall. Be left on left, and the first pitch misses the strike zone. It'll be the 5th ball in 6 pitches here in the 4th. That one finds it now 1-1. The 1-1 misses, now 2-1. Roman Raffelli joined by Kieran Costa here from Sonoma, where you can catch every Stompers game, whether it's here on YouTube or on Mixlr when we're on the road. That starts tomorrow. Swing and a miss, 2-2 now to Johnson.
Yeah, Stompers hit the road tomorrow for the 2nd of 3 against the Seagulls. You can catch that game on the Stompers Mixlr. There's a link in our Instagram bio. There's a link on our website, or just look up Sonoma Stompers Mixlr. That's Mixlr.
And Howard comes set, but Johnson calls for time. The 2-2 misses low off the outside corner. Now a full count for David Howard and Ethan Johnson. The Sonoma faithful not happy with the call, but that pitch did miss low, according to the TrackMan system. 3-2. Bounces in there, so it'll be ball 4. The runner advances and is going to take a turn, but Sepulveda well aware of the situation. Now 1st and 2nd with no outs.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's our beer batter, Mac Galvin.
I'll bring up Mac Galvin, who had the furthest hit ball of the night. A ball that went over 360 feet to center field, but Landon Akers was there to make the catch, as Zach Pace will take his first mound visit of the evening, and there is motion in the Stomper bullpen.
Yeah, I think he might do the same with a 1-2 punch that he used last time. It's Patrick Richardson, beg your pardon, who played at Arizona Christian last year. I don't know if he made an appearance down in the desert, but Howard's command was so good in his first appearance, not so much here. He's issued a walk every inning except the 3rd, and back-to-back walks. He now has to work out of trouble in the 4th.
Howard been good in the jam so far in this one, but certainly one presenting itself here. He'll face Mac Galvin. Bats from the left side, though. Hasn't taken the box.
Again, this is Mac Galvin, our beer batter.
So Galvin stands in from the right side. Shows bunt here. It's going to crash the right side. Pulls it back, but it's called a strike. That's a big pitch for David Howard.
Yeah, Shannon playing well in on the grass.
Now 0-1 to Galvin. Will be curious to see if he bunts again. He's going to square later here. That one misses outside. Shannon crashing hard, like Kieran mentioned. Forces a lot of movement on the infield here with 2 on and no outs, but if you're the Seagulls, you got to get this bunt down, get them into scoring position with just 1 out.
Yeah, it didn't snap the curveball like he wanted on that one, just drifted up.
That one now misses low, and typically the pitching approach when a guy scores the bunt is throw it right at the barrel, let him get it down, get an out, and let your defense work here. You never know. Putting a bunt down is by no means an easy thing to do. Maybe he pops it up or hits it right back at you, and you can throw it to third base. That's why you leave him there. You want to have the play there. Now 2-1. gets it down. It'll be David Howard to field it. He's going to bobble it and won't have a play, which loads the bases, though they're checking to see if that was foul.
It was, right? It hit home plate.
And manager on the first base side yelling, don't even think about it. He does not think that that was off home plate. It certainly sounded like it went off home. And now some banter between the Sonoma coaching staff and that of the Seagulls, arguing he's already had a couple calls go his way.
I thought it was foul. I thought he hit it straight down off of home plate. That's a tough call, and I mean, Zach Pace will have a very calm conversation with John Pierce, but that...
And it'll be interesting to see. I don't believe we're going to see an overturn here. They already made their ruling, but that ball certainly sounded like it hit off home plate, though hard to tell from our angle directly behind it. So it will be bases loaded and no outs after the bunt right back up the middle that I believe is ruled in E1. He had a chance to make play at least, but bobbled it just in front of the bump. So bases loaded and no outs for the visiting Seagulls, looking to score the first runs of the ball game. And it's a ball one to Derek Waldvogel playing left field. Had a 6-3 ground out in the second inning. The wind and delivery misses low, and David Howard just hasn't been accurate this inning. May force the hand of Zach Pace shortly.
Yeah, you saw Kenny Meimerstorff down there in the bullpen wave his hat. His reliever's ready.
The 2-1 in for a strike. A nice pitch there on the inside corner. That pitch could be used to right the momentum here. You're still capable of getting out of this here. You just got to throw strikes if you're David Howard. The 2-1. Chopped foul, now 2-2, a strikeout. Might be Howard's saving grace here. Likely his only opportunity if the arm in the pen is ready. His only opportunity to stay in this one. The 2-2 is bounced past Sepulveda, and they might have a play at home. They won't get there in time, so a run comes across to score. That is Sunder, who was the leadoff walk this inning, and runners will advance to second and third. So the first run of the game is scored courtesy of a walk come around on a pass ball. Now the infield will come in to cut the run with runners at second and third. Infield on the grass. And the 3-2 hit fouled on the right field line.
Yeah, first base open again, but the run's already scored, so you have to try and get one out and make the job for Patrick Richardson just a tiny bit easier.
We'll do 3-2 again. Howard needs the sign again. Will come set from the left side at the belt. Waldvogel from the right, and he's going to foul that one off towards right for the second pitch in a row. A rowdy crowd of Stomper fans here tonight. A pleasant 70-degree night in California. The 3-2 chopped just right back at Howard. Has a chance to play at one. He'll get that one, but another run will come across to score. A very weak half swing from Waldvogel. Serves really as a sacrifice bunt here. Run comes across, the out recorded at second. The first one of the inning.
Yeah, so RBI for Derek Waldvogel, and a well-deserved one. He saw 8 pitches from Howard. Everybody moves up, and now 2 runs are in, and the way the Stompers offense has looked lately, that's a tall task to get back.
The first pitch to Ben Resnick is a strike. He walked and was caught being a little bit lazy on the base paths to end that second inning. A throw from Kieran Baker and right got him via the tag by McCann. This one hit hard down the right field line. That ball's fair and will score the third run of the inning. It's extra bases for Ben Resnick. Kieran Baker gets it in to Gideon Hahn, and it's a one-out RBI double from the 8-hole.
Yeah, the first really hard-hit baseball off of Howard. And you go walk, hit by pitch, E1 to start the inning. That's a sort of due that those runs are going to come around to score. And you'd have to think his evening is done after this with the bullpen ready.
And Zach Pace motions to the bullpen. Will introduce you to the new arm and close the book on David Howard when we come back here on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. It's Patrick Richardson on the bump for the Stompers. He'll have Finn Whalen, the 9-hole DH for the Seagulls. And the first pitch hits him in the head. I believe that's the fourth one of those Stompers pitching has given in the last several games. And quickly a runner on board with also a runner on second and just one out.
Sets up the double play.
Which brings up the top of the lineup and Alan Ramirez, who flew out to center field and grounded out to second on a very close play from Gideon Hahn just last inning. Now an inning that the Stompers need to avoid snowballing. Already 3 scored and a runner in scoring position here. First pitch to Ramirez, hit hard into left field. This has extra bases written all over it. Sebastiani throws it in, no throw to the plate, and goes back to second, so it'll be first and second. The fourth run comes across to score in Ben Resnick.
Closes the book on David Howard, who gave up 4 earned runs in 3 1/3 innings. 3 hits, 4 walks. That was the killer and a strikeout. And now both runners aboard belong to this man, Patrick Richardson.
Great hustle from Nick Sebastiani in left to cut that one down. Just leave it at a single in first and second. Richardson takes a look back at second and deals. Misses the zone. High with that fastball, now 1-0. That pitch misses low, now 2-0. Stomper pitching has been solid throughout the first 8 games of the year, but if there's been one struggle, it's throwing strikes. Just different guys unable to really locate the zone. Richardson now behind 2-0. 2-0 misses out, now 3-0 to Jalen Hodges, who's been quiet tonight. A walk and a strikeout. Came all the way to third base in that first inning walk, but was left there after an Ethan Johnson ground out. The 3-0 misses low, and 4 not competitive pitches from Patrick Richardson load the bases in the 4th.
I mean, 4 runs is already a heck of a comeback that San Francisco is going to try and mount, but now you can't let it go to 6, 7, or even 8 runs.
Jake Brewer at the dish, playing third base, batting in the 3-hole for the Seagulls. That pitch again misses in the dirt, and if you're Patrick Richardson, you just need a strike here. Much like putting in the game of golf, you need to see one go here, just get the confidence back up on the bump. Now 1-0. In for a low strike 1. That's a big pitch there. One and one. Bounces it in, 2-1 to Jake Brewer. Brewer from Canada College, played in 37 games, had 4 home runs, and hit .302. The 2-1 from Richardson, chopped foul, now 2-2. Brewer also had 37 strikeouts this spring. Bases loaded, 1 out here in the top of the 4th. 4 already scored. This the 9th batter of the inning. The 2-2 from Richardson misses low, now full count.
Yeah, now something's got to happen. Bases loaded, 3-2 pitch.
Richardson needs to make an adjustment here. Missed low several times in the last 2 or 3 batters. 3-2. Battled back and foul. We'll do it again. Kieran Costa and Roman Raffelli on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Patrick Richardson on the bump. The payoff pitch to Brewer. Hit hard towards Colton Boardman. A chance for 2 here. On to second to first. Skipped in and past Brady Shannon. Runner's going to look to advance here. 2 going to come across the score, and we have a rundown between second and first. It'll be Richardson. No, the tag not made. It popped out, but Brady Shannon recovers it. Gets it down at first base. In a messy play. 2 score on the ground ball, but the inning is over. We'll have the scoring on that one when we come back. It's 6-0 in favor of the Seagulls. A 6-run top of the 4th results in quite the hole to dig out of for the Stompers. The final put out there at the inning that sent 9 to the dish is a 6-4-2, 6-3 double play with an error on the second baseman, Gideon Hahn. A messy end to a messy inning, and Colton Boardman leads it off.
Brewer does get one RBI on the play because of a fielder's choice, and then the next run comes in to score on the error.
And a strike call there to Boardman. It's a 1-1 count, and this ball hit off the handle back to the pitcher. He'll jog it over to first and make a soft toss. It goes 1-3, which brings up McCann Libby.
Third baseman number 49, McCann Libby.
This is getting ugly.
The Stompers having a rough go in recent days. They drop the second of 2 to the Blues and then fall to the Merchants yesterday. Both 1-run losses. McCann Libby takes an off-speed pitch for strike 1. That off-speed pitch went right back to at the same goal there, just left it on the inside edge. That makes the count 1-1. Libby been in a bit of a slump. He had the home run against the Blues, but that his lone hits in CCL play, fouls that one back. Ends up in the stands. Now 1-2. Thank you for joining us here on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. I'm Roman Raffelli, joined by Kieran Costa. The 1-2 to Libby misses low.
6 runs home for San Francisco in that inning. I mean, the Stompers only put up more than 6 runs once, if I was to guess. Twice, because they had the big 15-14 walk-off. They lost 8-7 on opening day. But in league play, definitely nowhere close.
Libby battles off another one, 2-2 here with 1 out.
They did put up 7 against Slow, but that was 7 in 2 innings.
And Libby goes down swinging for the second out of the inning. The strikeout, the second for Sebastian Buller, who's come in and been very good for the Seagulls. Brings up Brady Shannon playing first base tonight. Hails from Youngstown, Ohio. Plays his ball at Youngstown State. Actually a two-sport guy, is a quarterback for the Penguins in the fall. Watches ball one there.
Yeah, Brady, the backup QB, completed 3 of his 4 pass attempts in garbage time at Youngstown.
He's certainly an athlete, able to play in the outfield, playing first base today. And with a frame like that, how could you not be a good athlete? 2-0, popped up right. Shannon standing in at 6'2", 225. Swings and misses at a fastball there. Now 2-2 with 2 outs. And Buller pulling back to touch 89 on the heater there. Buller looking to complete his 3rd inning of work. This one hit hard into the 5-6 hole. It's the shortstop across to the first baseman in time. Hedges to Sundar. And a 3-up, 3-down inning for the Stompers. We'll head to the 5th here from Sonoma. Back on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network for the top of the 5th inning. It's 6-4-0 for the visiting Seagulls and 0-2 for the hometown Stompers. Not the ideal start at Arnold Field. First pitch from Patrick Richardson in for a strike, something he's going to look to throw a lot of after not doing such in the 4th, coming in relief for David Howard, which was a mess of an inning. 9 come across to hit. 6 of those score, and we'll have a much more smooth 5th. Now the 1-1 misses outside to the leadoff from last inning, Nav Sundar, who walked in that inning and did come across to score. Now the 2-1 misses high, 3-1. The 3-1 from Richardson. Misses low, ball 4.
Now batting number 16, Ethan Johnson.
That walk, the second charge to Richardson. But
Sixth by Stomper pitching,
They
right?
took the words out of my mouth.
I was trying to count him up. I don't know. Yeah, hit by pitch as well. That doesn't. So that's 7 free passes.
That's certainly not the recipe for winning ball. Ethan Johnson now bats from the left side. And a ball to him.
Lots of season left. Lots of bowl game left here today. We've seen comebacks twice this size in the CCL. But you take the life out of what was a rowdy Arnold Field Friday night crowd.
And you couldn't ask for more as a visiting team. You want to come in and get a win, but part of that is just deteriorating the mood of everybody here. It's a great Friday night at a great venue, and the weather's pleasant, but the one thing not pleasant in that situation here is the visiting team, who's done everything they can to make it unpleasant. Now 1-2 to Ethan Johnson. Now 1-2, hit hard into left center field. Landon Akers reaches on to make the play over the glove. That ball will get to the wall. Run being waved in, but he will not head home. A smart choice, and now second and third with no outs in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, we were getting used to Landon Akers making highlight plays like that, but this one, not the best route from the natural shortstop. Cut in straight away and then had to try and make a leaping attempt to give up the extra base. It's a double. There's no question about that. A hard hit baseball into the gap. 96 miles per hour up the bat of Johnson. And looks like the Missouri Tigers are going to get a good one this fall.
That ball pieced up off the barrel, and Landon Akers had every chance. He was just a couple feet in front of that one. Had he been a few steps back, probably would have had to lay out for it, but had a chance to glove it. First pitch strike for Patrick Richardson. Not something we've heard a lot today. That one to Mac Galvin, who reached on an error by the first pitcher, David Howard, last inning. The 0-1 popped up towards the first base line. It's Trent Keys there to make the catch, and will throw it home. Run will not go, so bases loaded with 1 out now.
That is amazing pitching from Patrick Richardson. I mean, you have to get a pop-up on the infield, you have to try and get a strikeout, and he got just that. Runners don't move.
And with the defensive substitution at first, it's important to note we also have one at third. It's Anthony Shepler in place of McCann Libby.
I like this from Pace. Let's spice things up, change the lineup, try and get something going.
And a bunt put down to the first base line. It's going to be Richardson, in a bit of miscommunication there. Kind of snuck it down. It scores a run and leaves runners on first and third. It'll be scored as a single, and just a really crafty play there.
Yeah, Keys, the new first baseman into the game. Him and Richardson both went for the baseball, but on that push, but I mean, Hahn should be cutting back to cover first base.
And that's exactly why you put down a push bunt in that situation. You're trying to force the defense to make a tough play and communicate perfectly, and they didn't do that. So Nav Sundar comes across the score. Ethan Johnson finds himself on third base, and Derek Waldvogel with a great play there. Brings up Ben Resnick, who doubled in that 4th inning. One of just 2 hits that scored 6 runs. That pitch misses low. Now a hole to dig out of here.
Now Ryan Davis, the manager, shouting from the first base coach's box, if one gets past the catcher, you need to score.
That one down the middle for a strike. Now 2-1. Shows bunt, pulls it back. It's a ball. Sepulveda looked down the third base line. Shepler took the base, but no throw made. Now 3-1 to Resnick. Curious to see any movement from first base. He won't go. The pitch misses inside and loads the bases once again. It's the third walk for Richardson.
An action behind him. Then the bullpen looks to roll up the double play and keep the Stompers, I don't know, anywhere in this game at 7-0 right now.
Well, on the Stompers, they got to worry about the run column, but they don't even have a hit yet. The offense just hasn't really been there. We're going to see a pinch runner here. It's number 40, Jackson Landry, going to run for Ben Resnick. And Zach Pace is going to slowly walk out, and what looks like a second pitching change of the night will await the outcome of this mound visit.
This could be one of those, tell him you have one more hitter and buy some time for your bullpen, as Zach has liked to do. Without a pitching coach here at the beginning of the season, it's tough to differentiate between a consultation and a move. This has been a tough watch and a tough couple of games for Sonoma. I mean, you're in the game against Slow. You have the tying run at the plate in the 9th inning. That's a 1-run loss. You have a tying run at the plate yesterday. You have 2 on in the 7th. You have 2 on in the 8th. In games you trail by just 1. And this one, though, I mean, Coach Mayo, who was the acting manager in yesterday's game, said in his post-game interview, the scoreboard shows it, it's not like we're down by a touchdown or anything, and that's exactly where they find themselves right now, down 7-0, and Zach Pace will waste as much time as he can before making the move.
Yeah, he'll motion to the pen, and we'll head to break, but when we come back, we'll introduce you to the new arm here on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Back in Sonoma for what's a pretty ugly scene if you're a Stompers fan, and a very pleasant surprise for the other side. The San Francisco Seagulls make the trip up. They have a home game against these very Stompers tomorrow, and they're seeing the third pitcher of the game in just the 5th inning with 1 out. It's Braden Gantz taking the mound for the home team, and Kieran Costa has a little bit more on him.
Yeah, Gantz, 6'3", 200-pound right-hander out of Clovis, California, coming to us via Pepperdine, where he pitched 19 2/3 innings and had an 0-1 record out of the bullpen. He did have one start out of those 17 appearances. He came into a bases-loaded situation. His first appearance against the Anchors, he induced a double play and then pitched a shutout ninth, so he does have one save on the season for Sonoma, but this one is another very tough situation.
They're going to need some magic from Gens. It's Finn Whalen who was the first batter who the first reliever, Patrick Richardson, faced in his outing, which was short. He went just an inning plus. We can close the line after some of these runners score or are left on base.
On the hook for 3.
A big swing and miss from Finn Whalen there. He was hit by a pitch, actually hit right on the lower part of the helmet, nearly in the face by Patrick Richardson. That was the first pitch he threw. Fortunate for Whalen, he is still in the game, no major injury. Now 1-1 shows bunt, offers added in a play that, just a miscommunication there. Shepler crashed on the bunt and Sepulveda wanted to back pick to third. They probably would have had him. He was about 30, 35 feet off the base, but you don't really want to make a short throw like that. Now 1-2 to Whalen. Hits it hard into right field. Kieran Baker makes the catch. It'll be a sac fly, and the runner will go from second to third. The run scoring is Ethan Johnson after he doubled, and that run charged to Patrick Richardson.
Waldvogel heads up base running, takes third on the play, which at Arnold Field means a lot with the amount of baseballs that get past the catcher. Good at bats today from Finn Whalen. He singled in the second, which, I mean, his runners behind him got picked back, but then hit by a pitch and a sac fly. Out of the 9th spot, too.
It's great at bat for several reasons, including you just rolled it over with a runner in scoring position. 2 outs in the inning for Alan Ramirez, who watches ball 1.
Now 4th at bat in the 5th inning. Eight of the 9 have reached base for San Francisco.
Swung on and missed now, 1-1. Seemed like pretty much everyone in the vicinity was hit by that. Sepulveda will take his time to hand it to the ball boy. Runner steals. They're going to throw to just a classic first and third situation here. The Stompers going to get it to the side that matters. They're going to get it to home, and they tag him out. So some shifty base running backfires for the Seagulls, but they do have an 8-run lead. The Stompers, a bit of defense looking to spark the offense here on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network when we come back.
Yeah.
Back at Arnold Field, it's Cameron Taylor, Kieran Baker, and Landon Akers going to look to feed off the caught stealing to get some offense. And that one hits the bat or the hand of Cameron Taylor. He keeps it in his... I don't know what happened.
The hands are part of the bat in that scenario. I think it's strike one.
Well, the typical ruling, it is ruled strike one. When you squared a bunt, for anyone at home who doesn't know, you kind of give up the right to be hit by a pitch unless you are in the motion of pulling it back. So that one, no matter what it hit hard to the third base line, knocked down and thrown high, but in time from Brewer to Sundar. That's a great play there for the first out, but a weird at bat for Cameron Taylor. Brings up Kieran Baker, who flew out to left, hit that ball hard, but just pretty much right where Waldvogel was playing back in the third. That pitch misses inside to Baker, 1-0.
You're down 8-0. It's only the 5th inning. You just have to start getting them back slowly. Get 2 here, get 2 in the 6th inning, and then 8-0 becomes 8-4. I mean, you have to get the first one back, actually the biggest one.
Well, and you certainly can't get them all back with one swing, so you just have to chip away. You have to be patient and just start to take baby steps, if you will, towards getting out of this hole. And it all starts with one batter. The 2-0 to Baker, in for a strike now, 2-1.
Yeah, you can't lose your game plan. I love the call for that bunt from Taylor to lead off the inning. Get on any way you can. There have been so many bunt singles this year already.
This one hit high and shallow to center field. Coming on to make the catch is Galvin, and the second out quickly retired.
Now batting center fielder number 33, Landon.
That fly out to center will bring up the center fielder for Sonoma, Landon Akers, who grounded out to short and struck out. But Sebastian Buller, man, he's been good since coming in with 2 on for Ben Eisenhower, which feels just like an eternity ago. First pitch to Akers, misses high and in.
The thing about summer ball, though, is like the at-bats in an 8-0 game like almost matter the same much, just as much to these guys as in a 1-0 game, because at the end of the summer you're going to send out these stats and your personal splits to colleges. Maybe you're in the portal, maybe you're not, but these at-bats, I think, especially for Landon Akers, a guy trying to stay sharp after a good season at Bellarmine, this is still an at-bat he's going to take seriously.
That pitch in for a strike.
They're getting ahead of Buller, but just can't execute from there.
That one also in for a strike. Akers doesn't love the call, but it catches the low outside corner. Now 2-2 in what could be another very quick inning of work for Sebastian Buller. Comes set the belt and delivers. Swung on and missed. Strike 3, and down go the Stompers in order. We'll head to the 6th here in Sonoma.
All right. I guess the other team's coming up the plate.
It's the top of the 6th in Sonoma.
Alan Ramirez.
Sweet Caroline brought this
It's Alan Ramirez to get another chance in the box. He was at the plate when the caught stealing occurred to end the 5th. Watches strike 1. Now the 0-1 from Gens misses outside and low. Gens came in and got a sac fly, which scored a run charge to Patrick Richardson, and then with runners on first and third, had an early steal from first, a pretty common play, trying to get the run from third to score, but the defense turned around and got him as he slid into home plate. This one hit high into center field. Akers going to have a beat on it, makes the grab for the first out of the inning.
Hey, kids, in center field, on the giant green Sealand container.
That'll bring up Jalen Hodges playing shortstop. He's
Not be on it.
0 for 3 on the night with 2 walks. He served as the first walk for David Howard and for Patrick Richardson, those coming in the first and fourth innings. First pitch to him misses. Our player to watch tonight for the opposing team. The 1-0 hit into shallow center field. Akers going to turn into a full sprint to get it. Gideon Hahn is going to make the grab, stumbling and backpedaling from second. Makes a nice play.
Yeah, Braden Gens has looked very good now. In his second appearance, he was good in his first appearance as well. Maybe not when Zach Pace wanted to have to call upon Gens, but either way, he's answered that call.
That brings up Jake Brewer, who made a nice play last half inning offensively and was the final out of the messy 4th. Takes strike 1. If you're just joining us, that put out was one of the more unique ones you'll see. It was 6-4-2, 6-3 as a double play. The 0-1 to Brewer misses high. Now 1-1.
Yeah, Brewer, the only player in this lineup yet to reach base.
The 1-1 fouled off the handle of the bat. Now 1-2. Gens gets his sign. Winds and delivers the 1-2. Hit sharply down the right field line. Foul. We'll do 1-2 again.
Gens went 1 2/3 innings in his first appearance. If he gets the out here, he'll be at that number.
The 1-2 from Gens gets Brewer swinging, and we'll head to the bottom of the 6th here in Sonoma. It's Gideon Hahn to lead off the bottom of the sixth. He's grounded out to the shortstop and been hit by a pitch. He'll take strike one on the outside corner to start his third at-bat. It's number 18, Sebastian Buller, back out for the Seagulls. He gets strike two quickly in nearly the same spot. The 0-2 to Hahn in the dirt, 1-2. The 1-2 misses outside. Tried to go back to the first two pitches, but couldn't get it to come around. Hahn, the 13th batter Bowler set to face. And it's a soft ground ball to the shortstop. Throw across. Picked by Sundarts. The second 6-3 put out of Gideon Hahn of the night. And now the 14th batter, Nick Sebastiani, to face Sebastian Buller. Excuse me, it's Ben Sebastiani pinch hitting for his cousin Nick. And the 14th batter that Buller will face, that's twice the number that the starter Eisenhower faced. First pitch to him is in for a strike. The 0-1 misses the inside corner. That's a pitch we've seen thrown frequently from Buller. He likes that inside corner, and he's been getting it quite a bit. The 1-1 went back to it, couldn't locate there either. Now 2-1 likes an off-speed pitch on the front corner there. That's a tough pitch to really do much of anything with as a hitter unless you're sitting on it, can get the foot down and get out in front of it. Now 2-1 hit into the 3-4 hole. This could be trouble. The PFP's executed from Buller. It'll go 3-1. Sundar ranged into the hole to grab it and then made the toss to Buller covering the bag. So to bring up the catcher, Sepulveda, who's also grounded out to short and popped out to first in his at-bats tonight.
Zach Pace emptying the bench. Adam Alarbi is out on deck.
He will hit for Colton Boardman if the out isn't recorded here, but a first pitch loud strike from Sepulveda, line that one down the third base line.
Yeah, the Stompers out through 5 2/3, still in search of their first hit of the ball game. They've had 5 base runners, but no hits.
And we'll get a called time. The left fielder, Waldvogel, ranging to grab that foul ball. Back to play. Buller comes set and delivers to Sepulveda, who fouls that one back. Now 0-2, and in his second at-bat that ended in a pop-out to first, Sepulveda hit several out of play and put up a good battle. Saw a quality at-bat, but just couldn't do anything with it. He did that with a runner on second and one on first. The 0-2 swung on and missed. Strike 3. The Stompers go down in order once again, and we'll head to the top of the 7th, where Kieran Costa takes over for the final 3 on play-by-play here in Sonoma.
Pranav Sundar will lead off the 7th inning. The Stompers trail this one 8-0, and maybe more worrying for the home fans, trail the hits category 6-0. Gens delivers a cold strike to Sundar to his catcher Sepulveda. The Pepperdine battery is still out there, but the rest of the defense is different, and I'll tell you all about it after an 0-1 from Braden Gens. That's fouled back off the catcher Sepulveda. Ben Sebastiani's in left field, Kieran Baker's in center, and Trent Keys is in right. Anthony Shepler's at third base, Gideon Hans at shortstop, Adam Alarbi's at second base, and Paul Lazul's now the third person to patrol first base in as many innings. The 0-2, and Gens misses away. Braden's done his job. He's stopped the damage. He came into a bases-loaded one-out situation in the 5th, gave up a sac fly, so one inherited runner scored, then picked off a runner and set down the top of the order 1-2-3 last inning, but he misses to Sundar outside. The count's 2-2. Still a good amount of fans here, and you're a part of history up until this point, just the wrong side of it. The 2-2 is popped up, out of play. Well, it's early. It's very early in this game to talk no for San Francisco. Yeah, 2/3 of the way through. Gens looking to get his bats back up there. Sundar's been aboard all 3 trips. The 2-2 is outside and low at 91 miles an hour. Good pitch, but Sepulveda was set up inside and the pitch was outside and low. Oh, out over the outside corner and low. Payoff coming. Gens shakes off once, finds the one he likes, and Sundar fouls it back to the screen. A good battle from Pranav, who's walked twice and singled. Payoff pitch coming from the tall right-handed pitcher Gens to the righty in the box Sundar. That's lined to Al Harvey, one away, and 5 consecutive sent down from Gens.
And that's a great play from Al Harvey. Those balls can be a little bit tough to read, but he got a beat on it, stayed place, and then just gave a little hop and put the glove up for a nice catch.
That means it's the lefty's turn, Ethan Johnson, who bounced out, walked, doubled, and scored twice. He takes away 1-0. That was pitch number 29 from Braden Gens. The 1-0 is a called strike, 1-1. Mac Galvin slated to hit next. The 1-1 from Gens sets at the belt and time is called at the plate. Late time is granted by the home plate umpire John Pierce. Braden Gens took a little too long for Ethan Johnson's liking. Now the pitch is a mile-high pop-up to Trent Keys, the new right fielder, who makes the catch stumbling back. That one was hit up into the fading twilight here in Sonoma County.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last
2 away.
chance to make the most of our beer batter. Now batting number 26, Mac Galvin.
Galvin's flown out to center, reached on an error and scored, and popped up to first base. Here he takes a first pitch slider at 81 that finds a lot of home plate. It's no balls and 1 strike.
And you don't always know how much these relievers have in the tank, but 32 pitches in, that was a great one.
Yeah, one. That's a cue shot to first. Paul Lazul will make the catch on the fly, and the side is retired. Well, Braden Gentz has calmed down the Stomper pitching staff. We'll see if the bats wake up, and it might be against a new arm. We'll find out when we come back for the last of the 7, but the Stompers trailing it 8-0. Ryan Davis goes to the bullpen again. His first 2 choices have gone 6 innings without allowing a hit. Sebastian Buller went 4 2/3 of those innings, 1 walk, 1 hit batsman, 4 strikeouts. And he makes his call to the bullpen. Who does he go to, Roman?
He goes to Logan Wenzel, the senior from St. Peter's University, originally from Middletown, Connecticut. Pitched 45 innings this spring, had a 10.6 ERA, and
his first pitch misses high to Al Harvey, his first at bat.
And the big numbers for him, 18 strikeouts, which isn't bad, but he had 52 walks and 60 hits. All that coming in 22 games.
Al Harvey sends this one to center, right at Galvin, who makes the catch, and the Stompers would love for just 1 of those 60 hits, as the magic number is now 8 for San Francisco. Anthony Shepler gets his first crack. It will be the first league at-bat for Anthony, who's in the transfer portal right now after getting just 4 at-bats at Ohio State last year. Is taking a look at a couple schools, Portland State on that list, and lefty. It's a pitcher that's out ahead, 0-1.
And a smart move from the Seagull coaching staff. They get the righty to start the inning, but then 2 lefties follow.
That one is low, 1-1. Trent Keys, a lefty on deck. And then you see if Zach Pace goes to the bench. Cameron Taylor, the DH, is still in the game, and I wouldn't be surprised if he takes all his hacks today. 1-1 coming to Shepler. Swings and misses. That was 89, high and tight. Shepler swings through 1-2. No action in the Sonoma bullpen. It might be Gentz again. Shepler lines this one to right, sinking fast for a base hit. And the Sonoma crowd will give Shepler a hand. And it's Logan Wenzel, the man who gives up the first hit of the ball game. And all of a sudden there's a guy on base, and you're thinking, is there an 8-run rally in the bones of the Stompers?
And a great piece there, just found a hittable pitch and didn't try to do too much with it, just lined it into right field for a nice easy single.
Shepler at first. Wenzel delivers to Keys inside. 1-1, and lefty. He took a pitch on the inner third and pulled it. That's a nice piece of hitting from Anthony Shepler, who was struggling in out-of-league play, to put it bluntly. Big swings, but he shortened up there and lined it to the pull side. That's a true single. Keys hits this one hard to center. Galvin chasing back, still back, and he makes the catch in a light jog towards dead center. So Keys hits it hard, 92 off the bat of the Stomper right fielder. But it ends in and out, and Cameron Taylor now gets his third crack at things. He grounded into a double play and then just grounded out the normal way. The first one to Taylor is a high strike at 87. Stomps trail the goals 8-0. That's courtesy of a 6-run fourth for the visitors. These two teams right back at it tomorrow. That one in San Bruno, as Taylor takes a half swing. They're not even going to appeal. It's 1-1, and I feel like you appeal everything these days. What do you have to lose? Tomorrow's game will be streamed on Mixlr. That's a 5:50 pregame show and a 6 o'clock first pitch. Taylor takes a called strike outside corner. To find the link to our Mixlr, if you want to keep in touch with the Stompers on the road, that's on our website. There's a link in our Instagram bio, but it's also MIXLR, along with the Sonoma Stompers. 1-2 is off the glove of the catcher, and taking second base on the passed ball is Anthony Shepler. This is the first runner in scoring position since the third. 2-2 with 2 outs. Lefty on righty. Wenzel pitches, and it's a called strike 3. The inning is over. The Stompers get their first hit in the 7th, but leave him out at second base as we move to inning number 8. San Francisco in control, 8-0 on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. We move to inning number 8 in a day where not much has gone right for Sonoma other than Braden Gent's his pitching performance, and that one misses to Derek Waldvogel. righty on righty. Jens, 6-footer out of Pepperdine, making his second appearance, his first league appearance. Pitches, swing and a miss. Nice pitch. 89 fastball. Just kept running off the corner.
And if it weren't for the 8-run deficit, Braden Gentz would be doing a ton for the Stompers. He's been great since entering the game.
1-1 is a called strike. Top of the zone, good pitch. 1-2. Landry for his first at-bat in the on-deck circle, and it will be with nobody on if this throw across the diamond from Shepler is made, and it is. 5-3, and Braden Gentz has retired all... Oh no, it's math again, and it's math in the late innings. I have 8. I have 8 plus a pickoff. Yeah, it's 8. It's 8 plus a pickoff. I'm not very good at math in the daytime, but like the second we get past 8:30, this is like the third cast in a row where I can't do 27 minus 22. The pitch is high. Landry came in to pinch run for Resnick. He takes his first at bat today. He's been playing right field. University of Louisiana at Monroe, and he pops it foul up over our heads. 1-1. Just finished up his sophomore campaign down there. He's a Louisiana native. Donaldsonville, as that one's popped up, out of play again, 1-2. So Resnick's day ends with 2 walks and a double, 1 run scored, and the only contribution Landry's made to this game thus far is getting picked off third base. He awaits a 1-2 from Braden Gentz, and it's low. That's another nice pitch. Braden Gentz, no matter the score on the board out in right center field, is turning in some very good innings for Sonoma right now. 2-2. Low again. That's where you want to miss, and the count runs full 3-2.
When you mentioned it earlier, these blowout games, they don't really change for the players themselves. You mentioned it in the at-bat scenario, but same for on the bump. Braden Gentz comes in and, say, shoves 4 scoreless innings. It doesn't matter what the score was. He can go send that to his coach or a scout, whoever it is, and say, hey, look what I did.
3-2 is popped up out of play over our heads. And we'll do another 3-2. Gentz has yet to allow a base runner. He's been nails now in 3 complete innings, 9 outs. And we'll see if he gets the 10th one here. He does not. It's sent into the right center field gap, and it's going to chase Keys all the way to the wall. Landry round second. He's heading for third. Al Harvey cuts. The throw to third on a hop is not secured by Shepler. It's a triple off the bat of Landry, and he couldn't have placed it any better between the center fielder and right fielder, and I probably shouldn't have said that he's put down everybody he's faced.
Yeah, just a great ball off the barrel. That fastball found too much of the strike zone, hit it right at the scoreboard. There's a number 13 out there and just rolled right to it. Trent Keys and Landon Akers didn't really misplay that. Kieran Baker didn't really misplay that by any means, but just a hard ball to get to, and he got around the bases.
And in comes the Stomper infield to try and keep the deficit at 8. Gentz pitches low. He only has 1 strikeout, but all 3 outs of last inning would not have resulted in a run scoring from third. 2 pop-ups and a line drive, all on the infield, are very shallow. That one misses inside, and Gentz is now up to 46 pitches. Maybe Zach Pace asked him, how many of these innings can you eat for me? There's nobody up in the bullpen. The 2-0 coming from Gentz is bounced foul right past Landry, who's standing out at third base. And Zach Pace might say, Gens, can you go out for the 9th as well? And then we'll give you as much time as you need to get ready. And Zach probably would have liked to have been ejected today instead of yesterday. It can't be a great time down in that first base dugout. His offense has just one hit. 2-1 coming. Fouled off the right field side. And I kid. Zach Pace doesn't want to get ejected any day of any game of the season.
And if Gens could finish out this game, that would be big for the Stompers, having a game tomorrow and then Sunday. They have Monday, Tuesday off, but the bullpen's certainly going to have some big innings to handle starting tonight.
2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch is in there for a called strike, and Finn Whalen knew it. He turns and heads back to the first base dugout. Second punch out for Gens. Both of them have been looking. The infield can go back with 2 outs, and Alan Ramirez gets at bat number 5. A fly out, a ground out, a single, a run, and another fly out. He takes a called strike right on the bottom of the zone, right at the bottom of the knees. That's an unhittable pitch and a strike that you hope you'll get every single time. Thanks for sticking with us. It's been a tough watch for Stomper fans, but glad you're still here. And Braden Gens has made that watch a whole lot easier the last 4 innings.
And I would be surprised if we see either a fastball low or that exact same pitch, because that's a pitch that you can't really call a ball, and it's in a perfect spot.
0-2. Gens elevates the fastball, and it's popped up. It's the center fielder, Kieran Baker, who drifts towards right center and makes the catch. So Landry picks up a triple, but he's left there, and Braden Gens has turned in a very, very nice pitching performance today, no matter the 8-run deficit he finds his team in. Last of the 8th coming on the Stompers Broadcast Network. It's all San Francisco, blanking the Stompers 8-0. The first pitch of the bottom of the 8th inning is ball 1 to Kieran Baker, who's flown out to left and flown out to center. He takes the first 2 that miss. And now he takes a strike at the bottom of the zone. That's a good pitch, says our TrackMan system. And John Pierce has been good behind the plate tonight. 2-1. is crushed to left, but right at Waldvogel, who did not charge it and plays it on a hop. I don't know why you don't try and make that play in a 9-8 to nothing ball game, right?
You want to maybe dive, make a heck of a play there, but that ball got to where it did and then died pretty quick. I think that's the smart move. You give up the single with an 8-run lead to not prevent extra bases and potentially a mess in left field. But that's a great piece from Kieran Baker.
Well, Roman is a ball player out of the two of us. He says, nice play, Waldvogel, and that one is going to head to the screen. Wild pitch, free base for Baker, and the Stompers would like to not get shut out today. And there is a lefty in the bullpen. Braden Gens is most likely done. Sean DeBoard. 1-0 is bounced foul at home plate. A half-hearted swing from Wazul, and the count's 1-1. DeBoard was given the loss on opening day. He really struggled with his command in a 7-walk ninth inning against the Berkovich Honors. The 1-1 is a half swing, and he went. One and two. Couple scores from around the CCL North after this 1-2 pitch. And first 5 checks on second base, and Wazul grounds it to the shortstop Hodges, who gloves it, pumps, and throws to get him. 6-3, and while I give you the scores, Roman, I want to count how many 6-3 putouts we have today, because it feels like a lot. Baker did go to third on the play.
That's the 6th 6-3 putout of the night, but that's a productive at-bat for Paul Lazul. You move the runner just 90 feet away with 1 out. Now you just ask the next 2 guys behind you to find a way to score him.
The pitch is low 1-0. The Slow Blues are down to the Menlo Park Legends 5-1. That one's still in progress down in Sinsheimer. The pitch is up and out to Charlie Moulton in for Hirian Hahn. And the surprise of the day maybe is the Alameda Merchants winning 9-2 against the Walnut Creek Crawdads. And so the 3 teams, the Stompers, the Crawdads, and the Blues, who made the CCL North playoffs, are all below 500. And the Merchants, a squad that started 1-10 last year, have beaten San Francisco, Sonoma, and now Walnut Creek. Something could be brewing in the East Bay, and it's going to be a dogfight in the CCL North. Lots of season to go. The 3-0 to Moulton is in there for a called strike.
When coming into today, the Merchants had a 1-game lead on the Blues and a 1.5 lead on the Stompers and Seagulls, who are the only other teams who had started CCL play, but they just add on that tonight, and the others seem to fall.
3-1 is grounded foul, and all of a sudden it's full. Ben Sebastiani would get his second at-bat, barring some sort of double play here, but the Stompers have found their way to get themselves out as Moulton's gone looking. Second strikeout for Wenzel.
Now batting number 4, Ben Sebastiani.
Sebastiani grounded out to first base back in the 6th. Right on left. The pitch. Sebastiani takes a called strike. He relieved his cousin Nick Sebastiani, who walked twice. One of the few Stompers to have a good day at the plate. The 0-1 is pop foul, 0-2.
And standing on deck is one of the only guys still left in the lineup in Esteban Sepulveda.
Yeah, I don't know if Zach Pace wants to make Connor Pulowski put on all the gear and go catch just 1 inning. 0-2 is low 1-2. Stompers and the Seagulls, game 2 tomorrow, 6 o'clock. You can catch that one on the Stompers Mixler, and then 1:05 back here to round out the 3-game set. And Sebastiani strikes out swinging on a high fastball. Kieran Baker's leadoff single only makes it to third base. The Stompers still scoreless, 8-0 after 8 on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Jalen Hodges, Jake Brewer, and Nav Sundar will be the 3 to hit. Against Sean DeBoard, who took the loss on opening day. He got 1 out, and he walked 5. He delivers a first pitch strike to Hodges, and this, while it's an 8-0 bowl game, is a big appearance for Sean DeBoard. I mean, it really couldn't have gone much worse from his first time out. This is a great opportunity to bounce back, fill up the zone. That one's hit to left. Ben Sebastiani comes on and makes the catch about chest high, 1 away. And he comes in relief of Braden Gentz, who was magnificent. How magnificent, Roman?
Yeah, Gentz really solid. He came in a messy situation and allowed a couple runs that aren't charged to him to score. He went 3 2/3, gave up 1 hit, and pretty much nothing else. He also struck out 2.
Jake Brewer, the only Seagull not to reach base. He has 1 last crack at it, barring extra innings. Fly out, pop out, double play, strikeout. He does have an RBI. He hit into that double play that every Stomper seemed like they touched the ball on that one. 1-0 is inside and high. Brewer spun out of way. No, maybe it did hit him. It did, and he heads to first base. All 9 have reached base, and 10 actually if you count the pinch hitter Landry.
Batting number 27, Nav Sundar.
That brings up Pranav Sundar. Single, walk, line out, 2 runs scored. Adam Alarbi made a nice mini leaping catch out at second base. The pitch. Fastball, top of the zone from DeBoard, gets the call, 0-1. I'm Kieran Costa, joined alongside Roman Raffelli here in the Sonoma Index Tribune press box at Arnold Field in Sonoma. Brewer bluffs, doesn't go, and it's in there for a called strike 2. And the command has been significantly better through 3 hitters this time out for the lefty out of Westmont College. Brewer away from first. He was hit by a pitch. DeBoard staring in to get his sign now. Sets at the belt. And pitches. High. 1-2. The Stompers and the Seagulls. Game 2 tomorrow, 6 o'clock from San Bruno. Catch us on the call starting at 5:50 on the Sonoma Stompers Mixler. 1-2 here. This one not over yet, as Sundar lines it foul, still working in AB. Ethan Johnson out on deck. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. The Stompers in danger of dropping their 3rd consecutive contest, and DeBoard picks back to first and falls off the rubber. I don't think you're running in an 8-0 game, and I don't think your next hitter's gonna be happy if you are running. You maybe sees a couple behind him. 1-2. That one gets away from Sepulveda. You take the extra base on the wild pitch.
And you're certainly not really in a steal mindset there, but with a lead like that, you almost have to if you're DeBoard. He's, close to 15 feet off the base.
Yeah, the Seagulls had a winning record here. They took 3 of the 5 games last season here at Arnold, and they're well on their way to taking their first of 2025. The pitch is inside 3-2. DeBoard, everything's been on the inner quadrant or missing in so far. 3-2 offer, beg your pardon, is fouled back to the screen, and we'll do it again for an 8th time. One ball, 2 strikes. The runner goes, and it's bounced to third. Shepler sees it kick by him into left field, and that's a really tough play for Shepler, who went to cover the bag at third base because the runner was going and then had to dive back the other way. It was hit right exactly where he would have been, but it's a single, and I'm not too happy about trying to steal third base in an 8-0 game.
Well, so I can't confirm it, but that looks like a hit and run type of play, because when you do a hit and run,
I'm not happy with the hit and run in an 8-0 game. That's not really the point, but yes, I see what you're saying.
You try to pull the fielders away from their typical spots to try to open up more space for a ground ball or a ball hit wherever, which results in that.
1-0. Called strike 1-1. It's an RBI for Pranov Sundar, and he's been on base 4 times today. That one is in there for a called strike to Johnson. The count's 1-2. Brewer scores from second, running on the pitch. A 3-2? 3-2 pitch, hit and run in the 9th inning of an 8-0 game is CCL baseball, and that one is a check swing at 64 mile-per-hour curveball, stayed above the zone, and now it's a 9-0 ball game after what is a successful hit and run, if that was the idea that Ryan Davis had. 2-2. Low 3-2. Cameron Taylor squared to bunt to lead off the 5th inning of what was a no-hitter. The Stompers do that in every situation there is. I don't think he was bunting to break up a no-hitter, if that was the case. The pitch is to the screen, kicks to Sepulveda, right back to him, and he almost had a play. It's a wild pitch from DeBoard, and the count runs full 3-2. Payoff from DeBoard to Johnson. Low, ball 4. Sundar's already on second base, and I think we might have a pinch hitter. And we will. Mac Galvin, who had his batting gloves on in the hitter circle, will head back to the dugout, and Ben Koch will dig in from the left side. Lefty with DeBoard. It's a reverse split substitution from San Francisco, and DeBoard pours it in 1-0.
Yeah, Koch, the outfielder from Bullard, Texas, played in just 12 games at University of Louisiana Monroe.
He fouls it at home plate. He's behind 0-2. DeBoard working from the stretch with runners at first and second. Here comes the 0-2 pitch, is outside 1-2 as we creep towards 9 o'clock here on the Pacific Coast. The game was flying along through 3 innings and then 6 runs in the 4th. The Seagulls haven't looked back. They right now lead at 9-0. The 1-2 home is skied in the air down the right field line, moving over his keys, still moving over, and it lands foul out of play. A long run for Keys. Ball drops harmlessly down the right field line. And we'll do it again from 1-2 to the pinch hitter Koch, and he's gone looking. Second strikeout of the season for Sean DeBoard, and that brings up Derek Waldvogel.
And that's a great pitch there from DeBoard. He had the left-on-left matchup and used it to drop an off-speed pitch on the inside corner.
His first one to Waldvogel is low, gets past Sepulveda, and now there's runners at second and third. That's a wild pitch charged to Sean. Sundar's at third. Johnson's at second. Couple runners in scoring position. San Francisco looking to tie a bow on this one, and that one's grounded towards Zach Pace, perched outside the Stomper dugout, and he hasn't much to like what he's seen really wire to wire in this one. 1-1. Coming to Derek Waldvogel. 1 for 4. He takes low. It counts 2-1. He's grounded out to the pitcher, the shortstop, the third baseman. He also has a single and a pair of runs batted in. Hitting room on the right side of the infield. He checks his swing. Sepulveda is going to ask Dean Poteet at first base, who signals the safe sign, which means it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Seagulls on their way to getting to 1-1 in league play, and Sonoma would be 1-3. That one's fouled into the glove. A big swing on 3-1 from Waldvogel. The payoff is grounded to second. Al-Harbi fields, sets, throws, and got it. So after all that, it's a run on a hit and 2 left. The Stompers bats will give it one more try. They trail 9-0 halfway through the 9th inning here in Sonoma. Ninth inning of play, and everyone that's still watching, thanks so much for hanging around with us and spending your Friday evening watching the Stompers. Finn Whalen comes into the game, and his first pitch is popped up back behind home plate. Is this coming our way? It hits the roof of the press box and kicks away. Finn Whalen was the DH, and he went 1 for 2 with it by pitching a sac fly. He's now pitching. He didn't make an appearance at Sonoma State on either side of the ball, and he comes home at 67. And this, I don't think there's such a thing as a position player pitching in the CCL, especially a guy that redshirted at Sonoma State. He probably did a little bit of something in high school, but he comes home and Sepulveda hits it back towards second. Ramirez still in the game, throws to first, and Sepulveda hustling up the line to his credit. I mean, the coaching staff notices that for sure, but it's 4-3 the putout, and an 0 for 4 evening, a tough one for the Stomper backstop, and that brings up Adam Alarbi for his second crack at things. Tomorrow, we're at 6 o'clock if you're just tuning in. Now that's on Mixlr, the Stompers Mixlr audio only on the road this season for Sonoma. We're back on YouTube on Sunday at 1:05 Pacific. That's a called strike, 1-1. And John Pierce just wants to go home just like the rest of us. It's 9-0. 1-1 is tomahawked foul down the third base line. The counts 1-2 on Adam Alarbi. 5:50 pregame show on the Mixer tomorrow. 12:50 pregame show back here on the Broadcast Network on Sunday. 1-2 is grounded foul down the third base line. Again, holds 1-2, and Ryan Davis is still managing his heart out down the third base line. The infield shifted to the left, and Alarbi hits it right into that shift. Jake Brewer throws across the diamond, and that out really should just be given to Ryan Davis and the coaching staff. He set his defense, and Alarbi hit right into it. The last chance for Sonoma is Anthony Shepler, who has the only relevant moment in this game for Sonoma. He broke up the no-hitter in the 7th. That putout went 5-3 for anyone that's still scoring. A very messy book. The Stompers have pinch hit 6 of their 9, beg your pardon. Shepler takes outside 81. He still has some velocity and misses 1-0. If I was to guess, I would say it's Nick Santavanez or Jaden Harper tomorrow for the Stomps. That one's a called strike. Outer third, and the count's 1-1. 82 miles an hour from Whalen. 1-1 offer. Inside corner this time. 1-2. Stompers down to their last strike. And Shepler not giving away an AB. It's 2-2. Time is granted at home plate. Whalen stepped off, so is implied. The 2-2 offer is cut on and missed, and the ball game is over. So the Stompers fall 9-0 in the first of 3 games against the San Francisco Seagulls. They're back at it tomorrow at 6 o'clock. The Stompers are back home Sunday. And
Versus the same Sacramento.
9 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Seagulls.
As you exit the seating area,
No runs, 2 hits, and 2 errors for
use caution in the
the Stompers. And sort of what went wrong today, Roman. What went right would be a better.
I mean, pretty much everything went right for the Seagulls. The offense was there. They took good ABs. The pitching was solid, and sort of everything kind of went wrong for the Stompers. They didn't get a hit until Anthony Shepler in the 7th, and the pitching wasn't great. They couldn't really throw strikes. They got behind in the count pretty frequently, and then you also made 2 errors in the field. You just couldn't do anything right today, but maybe this is a moment where they realize they get out of Sonoma tomorrow. They play their first road game. They change the scenery a little bit, get out of the routine, and shake things up to go get a big win back after not falling to 1-2 in CCL play.
Yeah, the winning pitcher is Sebastian Buller. The losing pitcher is David Howard. 9-0 the final. The Seagulls take it over Sonoma. The Mixler goes live at 5:45 tomorrow. The pregame show starts at 5:50, and the first pitch is at 6 o'clock at San Bruno Park, down there just south of San Francisco. Stompers fall 9-0, a tough one today. That's going to wrap up our coverage here from the Sonoma Index Tribune press box. For everyone that makes this broadcast run, and Roman Ravelli, thanks so much for hanging with us and spending your Friday evening with the Stompers Broadcast Network. I'm Kieran Costa, signing off from Sonoma. 9-0. The Stompers fall in the first of 3 to San Francisco.